Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel, and I like board games. I like the fact that board games come in boxes, and there's some really cool boxes out there, but there's also some boxes that I find annoying. I might like the games that are inside them. So I'm making a top 10 of annoying size boxes, and this is from a consumer aspect. Number 10 is pentagons, hexagons, octagons, all the gons. That's a cool thing. You look at it like You've Been Sentenced was a fun party game that was shaped like a pentagon. And we got Gemblo, which is shaped like a hexagon. And that's cool, but it's really hard to fit on the shelf. It's just, you have all these square boxes and you have to fit this one in there. It's hard for stores too, because they like to have boxes stacked up there that people can sell. Number 9 is cubes. I like cubes. I think the idea of a cube is neat, but the problem with a cube is you have to stack everything in the box a little at a time. So the original Quarriors came in a cube because it was about dice and they wanted it to look like a die. Gift Trap. And you have to stack everything in a cube. The nice thing about a box, you can open up the box and there's all the pieces laid out. With a cube, you have to stack it all in on top of each other, and I just find that to be problematic. Number 8 are tubes. Now, happily, this type of box is almost non-existent at this point. Pente is the one that people know probably the most that came in a tube, or the Cran Rail games originally came in tubes where they would roll up the board. I mean, this is useful if you have a board that rolls up, but a tube, you lean it in the corner, it rolls off the shelf. It's one of the worst packaging things that you can have. Number 7, I'm always constantly talking about this, is tins. Cardboard boxes are just better than tins. Tins, they look nice, they look snappy, but the problem with tins is often they will do things they'll make weird shapes with them, which is problematic. But even if they're square, like Forbidden Island and Forbidden Desert, these tins are pretty neat. The problem with these games is that if the box gets dented at all, and it's very easy to happen with a tin box, the lid might snap off and then all the pieces fall off. They're just not practical. Number 6 is sacks or bags, or Happy Salmon. Bananagrams is the one most people have. These are nice, they're soft, they're easy. The problem is they get lost. You put it on the shelf and when I look at my games, I'm like, ooh, these are games, and that sack is just sitting in the corner. You'll probably never get to it. The idea of a sack is neat. You throw the pieces in, although there are some sacks that are made to look like burlap bags. They just look ugly. I don't know why anyone would like those, but even the nice ones, sometimes you gotta shove all the pieces into it, which is not as easy. Number 5, I call this the slide in the cards. This is another one that's being phased out. Nowadays, card games would come with a lid and a box, but originally many card games would come where you had to take the deck, cut it in half, and then slide it into the end, where then a card might poke out the other side of the box. So frustrating and so annoying. Sometimes the boxes were so thin that you had to cut the card deck exactly in half, or it didn't work, and then the cards would get stuck. I would end up gluing the other side of the box together so the cards wouldn't come through. Very problematic. Number 4 is plastic nonsense, I call this, where the game is just shaped like something different. I just did a review of Peach Snaps, where the game is shaped like a peach, and I got one sitting over there, avocado. It's shaped like an avocado. Or these things, it's cute and funny, but again, you put it on the shelf, you can't stack it on other boxes. It sits there by itself. Sometimes they break open. The kids will play with them as toys. It's a clever thing usually, but just not useful for storing a game in. Number 3 is the hole. By the hole, I mean a board game box with a hole in it. Now, this happens usually because they want to put a window in it so that when you look at the store, you're like, ooh, the biggest culprit, X-Wing miniatures game. Great game. You see, oh, there's the X-Wing. You open the box, that piece of plastic falls out. Now you have a box with a hole in it. So you can glue the plastic into the lid or do something. It's very problematic. Again, this is from games that they want to show you it. It's like toys, but just not worth it. Number 2 is impractical carriers. These are games that sound cool, and it's like a carrier. Like several games, like Cookie Fu and other games in the past, have come in Chinese takeout food cartons. That sounds good. It's a terrible idea for a box. Or Baker's Dozen, where it looks like a box of donuts. These are games where you're like, ooh, look, I can carry this around, and but the game box itself is flimsy and problematic. And my number one most annoying box to me are the mass market boxes, which were clearly designed to throw away. And what I mean is it's a solid box and it opens at the end. So you open it up and you dump out all the pieces. When you're done, you got to slide them all back into the box. It's a box without a lid. I know this is a very cheap option to make a game. You know, these boxes are much cheaper than the boxes that are two separate pieces. But the single box, like for example, I have eBay Electronic game. Really like that game. But I have to slide all the pieces in. And then you usually have to tape one side of the box shut so that when you slide the pieces in, they don't crash all the way through and come out the other side. I hate these boxes. Okay, some of these boxes are fantastic. Some people might like them more than me. Tell me what you think in the comments below. What is your most annoying box in a board game? Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.
Thanks so much for watching another Dice Tower video. If you enjoy our videos, subscribe to the channel for more fun, comprehensive board game coverage. Also, consider joining us at one of our events. Come to Dice Tower Retreat, a small, intimate gathering where gaming is king. Join us for Dice Tower Cruise, the largest board game cruise. Attend Dice Tower West in Las Vegas for gaming fun on the West Coast, or Dice Tower East in Orlando in sunny Florida. Dice Tower Conventions, the friendliest gaming conventions on Earth. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.